Hey everyone, how's it going? Today's video is unmissable. Newcastle United could be about to sign a South American player who is absolutely in love with the club and has made that crystal clear. But before we get to that bombshell, which, yes, is in the title and the thumbnail, there are two other hot stories you need to know because they show just how much is happening behind the scenes at the club. So stick with me until the end because it's all top news. News 1, first summer signing already done. Let's kick off today's video on a high note with a brand new signing for Newcastle. That's right, the club has already secured its first summer signing before the window has even officially opened. His name is Antonio Cordero, and remember that name because it's one to watch. A young Spanish talent, just 18 years old, who's been standing out for Malaga in Spain's La Liga 2. The lad is already being labeled a gem, and Newcastle managed to win a tough battle against the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and even Porto to sign him. That says a lot about just how promising this youngster is, doesn't it? So why did he choose Newcastle? Well, Cordero and his family visited St. James Park, got to see the facilities and feel the club's atmosphere, and that played a massive part in his decision. He was won over by the project, and despite having huge offers on the table, he chose the Magpies. His final game for Malaga is this Saturday, and after that, he'll officially say goodbye and begin this new chapter. Now, hold on. Before you start imagining him linking up with Isaac or Bruno Guimaraes, it's worth pointing out that the plan is a bit different. Newcastle intends to loan out Cordero next season, likely back to Malaga or maybe to another European club. The goal is to get him minutes, gain experience, and come back ready to make a real impact when he puts on the black and white shirt for the first time. And there's more. This signing might just be the final move made by a key figure at the club. Paul Mitchell, the sporting director who replaced Dan Ashworth last year, is leaving at the end of June, and bringing in Cordero could be his last official act in charge. Mitchell made a point of thanking everyone at the club, from head coach Eddie Howe to the fans, and said he's leaving with peace of mind, believing the club is in great hands. His confident Newcastle is on the right track, both on and off the pitch, and that everything is in place for continued growth. Even though he didn't land any big names for the senior squad during his time, Mitchell worked hard behind the scenes to secure a bright future. In addition to Cordero, he also brought in the young striker Vakhtang Sadia from Dinamo Tbilisi and midfielder Baran Yildiz, who arrived from Turkey earlier this year. So, Newcastle are planting seeds for the future, investing heavily in young talents. And clearly, the project is appealing even to players who could have gone to Europe's biggest clubs. News 2, Gordon breaks his silence and sends a message to fans. Now let's talk about Anthony Gordon, one of Newcastle's most important players this season, and one of the most talked about names in recent weeks. But don't worry, there's good news. After the match against Everton, the final game of the season, a lot of people were left wondering what was going on. The team lost, and Gordon looked pretty upset. He was subbed off at halftime, and at the final whistle, you could see the frustration all over his face. And to be fair, who can blame him? But what really raised eyebrows was the silence. Gordon didn't say anything for 2 full days after the game, and fans began asking, is he leaving? Is something going on behind the scenes? Well, Anthony Gordon has finally broken the silence. He took to social media to send a direct message to Newcastle fans, and honestly, it was exactly what everyone needed to hear. He wrote, "We hit our targets and I still have so much more to give. Thank you, Mags, for the support through the highs and lows. I'm buzzing for next season." In other words, no messing about. He's thinking about the future at Newcastle. That's a huge relief, especially with all those rumors flying around about Liverpool being interested. For those who don't know, Liverpool's new manager Arne Slot is a big admirer of Gordon and was reportedly very keen to bring him in, especially now that the club might lose Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez. But with that post, Gordon has pretty much made it clear he's not looking to leave St. James Park anytime soon. And there's more. Let's not forget he signed a long-term contract with Newcastle back in October, and for him to be sold, it would take a massive offer, one of those you simply can't refuse. Just to remind you, Newcastle have already had to sell a couple of young talents recently, like Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minteh, due to the Premier League's financial rules, the PSR. But Gordon has always been seen as a last resort, only to be sold if things got really tight financially. It seems that's not the case right now. Thankfully, Gordon has also made it clear time and time again that he loves being at Newcastle. He has said he feels at home, that he has a great relationship with Eddie Howe, and that his dream is to win a trophy with this shirt. And let's be honest, he's got the quality to do just that. Even though he didn't quite hit the same form as last season, he still played a crucial role, scoring important goals, like in the Carabao Cup semi-finals against Arsenal, and always showing heart and grit on pitch. There was even that controversial red card against Brighton that ruled him out of the final, but no one questions his commitment. So if you were worried Gordon might be heading out, you can breathe easy. From the sound of it, he's staying with us next season, and is coming back more fired up than ever. News 3, the main one. South American player declares his love for Newcastle and dreams of St. James Park. And now, the news that could make any Newcastle fan's heart race. His name is Marino Hinestroza, a 23-year-old Colombian forward who's currently shining at Atlético Nacional, one of the most historic clubs in Colombia. And why has he made headlines in England? Simple. He publicly declared his love for Newcastle United, loud and clear. That's right. After one of Atlético Nacional's matches, Hinestroza gave an interview and surprised everyone with a quote that immediately went viral among Newcastle fans. He said, "I have a lot of affection for Newcastle United from Premier League." And he went on to say that his biggest dream is to play in Europe, ideally for the English club. So it wasn't just a throwaway mention. It was a direct statement, the kind that makes a fan base go, "Hang on, is another South American talent about to join our squad?" Despite being young, Hinestroza already has a solid CV. He has played in Mexico, in the MLS in the US, had a stint in Brazil with Fortaleza, and now is enjoying one of the best spells of his career back home in Colombia. At Atlético Nacional, he's scored 8 goals and provided 8 assists, numbers that show he's not just a scorer, but also heavily involved in build-up play. And here's a cool bit of trivia. If he were to join Newcastle, he'd be only the second Colombian to ever wear the black and white shirt. The first? The legendary Faustino Asprilla, a 90s icon, known for his flair and unforgettable goals. Just for that, fans are already getting excited. It didn't take long for the interview to make waves. On social media, Newcastle fans are already calling for the club to sign Hinestroza, saying he'd be a great addition to the squad, especially as the club is trying to strengthen smartly by targeting promising talent in less inflated markets. And the timing couldn't be better. Newcastle have clearly been scouting the South American market closely. The club is on the lookout for young, affordable players with room to grow, and Hinestroza fits the profile perfectly. Of course, there's no official offer yet, and other clubs, like Boca Juniors in Argentina, are also interested. But the player himself has made it clear his priority is Europe, and his dream is Newcastle. So, will the club make a move? Could we see another South American star lighting up St. James Park? The fans are already on board. Now it's up to the boardroom to take the next step. Just imagine, Hinestroza up front, learning from Isaac, Gordon, and Almiron, maybe even wearing the number 11 shirt that once belonged to Asprilla. That would be something special, wouldn't it? So that's it, folks. 3 stories that show how Newcastle are already making moves behind the scenes. A confirmed signing, a key player staying put, and a South American gem dreaming of joining the Magpies. If you enjoy these updates, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, and drop a comment below. Would you like to see Hinestroza at Newcastle? Thanks for watching to the end, and see you in the next video.